morning, my dear friends. Welcome back to my channel, and all my new viewers, welcome. Glad you found me. Well, don't forget to subscribe and be my friend forever, because I love you all. What we have today in here, it's the package I received from Painsomeway. I have 3 diamond painting and 2 cross stitch, very beautiful kits. So I think this time I will start not from diamond painting but cross stitching, and this video you will see maybe next week about 3 diamond painting, and they are very pretty. So let's start with cross stitch, because there's some, this for example this one, I really was hoping that this will be a Joy Sunday, because you know how it's work right now. None of the stores actually state that it's a Joy Sunday, or maybe it's a romantic story, maybe it's a spring. There's like so many brands of the cross stitch that I would love to know what I picking for myself. So when I picked these pictures, I was really hoping, finger crossed, that this will be Joy Sunday. It is, because I know should be Joy Sunday. So here's my first pick, and this picture, let me pull out from the packaging so it's not so glare from the bag. I was watching one of the lady was stitching this one. Maybe that's why this canvas, this picture kind of stuck with me. Every time I go and look something on cross stitch websites, I always come across of this image, and I keep staring on it, and I end up walking away. And I thought, well, there's something interesting about this image. The way I was looking, I thought that she's looking like, this is so funny. I feel very very dumb after I figure out how this image works. So what I was thinking, this is her front. She turned her head to look around, and you know how those like a geishas, they have this little thing in the back of there, like a little boxes in the back. So that's what I thought was the back, and I thought, well, that's kind of so awkward the way she turned her head. And then after thousands of time across in this image, I finally take a look again, and then I figure out that here is her hand right in here. I should show with something else, not my fingers, but I'm not prepared. I don't think I need anything in here. So this is actually her cape, and this is front of hers. That's how she is holding the cape together. So I laugh after I figure out that I was looking at this image totally wrong for myself. She is gorgeous. Her face is very pretty. Her face is stunning. You can tell there will be a back stitching, or at least it's stitched on this picture with the back stitching, and hopefully this canvas have, but thankfully, because it's a Joy Sunday, I think we will have some back stitching in here. She has a gorgeous clothes. There's lots of blossoms. So it is very, very beautiful. It says the beauty in snow night. Now, Snow White, it's a little bit confusing me in here again. Why? First of all, I see blossoms on the trees. And I see snow is like a blizzard in here, and the snowflakes. I totally confused about this image. We can see the branches of the tree is blooming, and then we see snow. Is this something I totally missed? I don't understand. I have no idea. Please explain me if you know better story maybe about this image. Maybe it's something from the movie, I don't know. Snowstorm in the middle of summer or spring. Well, usually spring when trees blooming. So yeah, I'm a little bit confused, but so many times crossing this image, and it just stuck in my head because I remember how beautiful that was when lady was stitching this image in counted cross stitch. So let's see what we have in here. This picture is 47 by 47 centimeters on 14 count Ada. And yes, I see already on the flowers there is lots of back stitching. It's going to be lots of back stitching. Basically everything is outlined. The mountains, the flowers, her hair, yeah, her clothes and the snowflakes. Oh, that's lots of back stitching in here. I warn you. Her face have lots. She's gorgeous, isn't she? Her beautiful hairdo. Something like a gold design on her hair. It is beautiful. Now, how many colors in here? Okay, here it is. Here it is. Let's see what we have in here. We have even French knot in here in 2 colors. We have a back stitch in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 colors for the back stitch. And I mean, like, look at the snowflakes. You literally need to outline every single line. So yeah, if you don't like back stitching, this one may be not for you, but I do have 2 tutorials how to back stitch. One is regular back stitching, and one that you have to like layer thread, which would be probably good in these long lines in here. And then we have 41 color in a full stitch. That sounds right. That sounds right. Sounds pretty. I wish they changed from shiny paper to something different, so it's not so glary if you decide to follow a pattern to do it. Okay, so let's see what kind of threads we have in here. Should be 2 needles in here. Here they are. Let's see canvas first. This way. Okay, this way. Okay, we can see the silhouette of her face, her clothes. Now, recently I have a question. Have to put stiff canvas like this into your hoop to stitch comfortable, because it is very tricky when this canvas, like, it's a very stiff canvas, not very applicable, and it's hard to put in a hoop. Really hard. You saw me one time fighting with the winter image. I was trying to put in a hoop. It was funny. It was funny. But there is a way, easy way, how you can do it. By the way, it's all stitched around nicely, so you don't have to worry about that. Joyce, something good on that. So what you do to make your canvas more soft, you literally just squish it. You squish it, you mush it, whatever you want to call it. Don't worry, your pattern not gonna do anything, like, you're not gonna damage colors in here, okay? But when you do like this little bit, we can do a little bit on the corner in here, you kind of break that stiffness, whatever they put in it. So the canvas will be more softer. See, now it's more applicable already. So when you do this to all your canvas, just crunch it. Don't worry. You will later wash it and stretch and iron. It will be okay. But this will be so much easier now if you have an old canvas like this, flexible, to put in your hoop or your frame. So this is the tip number 1, how you can do it, and it's worked for me. It should work for you as well. Okay, now we have wrinkle canvas. All right, ignore that side. That was a little tutorial. Okay, so sorry. Wake up, like I need some bucket of coffee to get my voice back. Alright, so in stitches, this size of 47 by 47 centimeters, obviously it's the whole canvas together with white borders. And surprisingly, it's a much wider border in here, so it will be very comfortable to put into the frame. Yeah, lots of room in here. It's like 10 centimeters maybe even. That's a good borders. Now by the stitches, that is your image starts, right? In stitches we have in here 216 by 216. Obviously it's square, so it will be even, but 216 stitches you have to create. Lots of the numbers in here already on a canvas, so you don't have to kind of look in here on this pattern. I see already in here yellow 04. You just go to your 04, and that would be this gray color. So sometimes you don't even look in here when you have already, like, look, this for example 17, right? Number 17, it's a blue color on a canvas. So you can just grab your 17 from in here and literally stitch all blue where you see at once, and you will be done with that color. So you don't have to look again later when you already overstitch number and you cannot see it. You can forget maybe, but you know what, it's here say 17, here 17, so it's pretty much all over on a blue color. In many places has 17, so you should remember that. Now excuse me, one more question was, we're gonna answer some questions here today as well. I hope you're okay with that, because I know lots of beginners watching me. Now somebody asked me, I can't remember name, but I hope you're watching this video. She was saying she purchased canvas, I think for the first time, and she confused because the symbols in here doesn't match symbols in here. Yes, it is true, and that's how it's always work. Always, there's no pattern that's in here match in here. I mean, the pattern is matched, but the symbols always different. Why they make it like this? In my opinion, it's because if you cannot recognize, maybe you have a smudge, maybe you got spill accidentally. If you get the water in here, your canvas will be all smudged. The ink will disappear front your eyes. You better never put any drink next to your printed cross stitch. If you have some mistake in here and accidentally your canvas may be blurry, you can recognize that particular symbol. And for example, we will take so it's more kind of understandable, like faces in here I have. So here is her face. Let's say I have in here those blue, and that is what is it, like a line plus. So it's a 06. It's a number 6 on a palette, right? So I picked this, I work in here, and then I don't see what if that's next to it same symbol or not. Maybe it's got smudge. So that's why you have this pattern in here, but in a totally different symbol. So you just have to find the section which will be easy for you to kind of do orientation on these numbers in here on the side of the canvas, 10, 20, 30. So when you see here, you just go here, this is the section that I need, and you just look in here, and then when you look in here, this is the symbols you will have in here. So for this pattern on your canvas, you will have symbols that's in here. If you're using a pattern to cross stitch, maybe you want to cross stitch counted cross stitch. So then you use this pattern with this symbol. Okay, so because if you use this design with symbols in here, you will be in a full mess. It's not gonna match. So always, if you look in here, you have to use symbols that's in here because they are different. For the reason to recognize quickly if something symbol in here not clear, you can find that spot. You look in here and you determine which DMC code you are working on. Then you go to your palette and get your thread. I hope I know I talk too much, and I hope I explain well. I did the tutorial already explained in my probably cross stitching for beginners video, because I already explained once why it doesn't match. Okay, well, that was alone. Let's continue. So what do I see in here? I see gorgeous design, very nice and clear print. Fortune count is my favorite kind of count because it's not too small, not too big. 11 count is a little bit extreme and design go like way too big. But for the vision, if you have a poor vision, 11 count is really comfortable to stitch for older folks. So you have to see what is better for you. For me, sometimes fortune count get difficult to see if my eyes getting tired. So I'm using my magnifier light, and that create this stitches very big, right? So okay, let's see now what colors we have in here, because it is very vibrant design. Let's pull out this design in here. Okay, so while you were looking here on this picture, I will show you some colors as well in here. Here's our first side. I love to I would probably even start with red because I love this part of her cape. It's probably called different than cape, but I don't know the proper words in Asian culture, because I think she's Asian lady. What's that called in their traditional clothes? So I don't want to be making up some of my words. So for me, everything that go over the shoulders, it's a cape. So that's why I will call it. Yeah, if you have a proper word for it, please let me know in the comments, and I will do appreciate. This is all extras. In here we have on this little extra palette. And oh, we have some special threads in here. What a surprise. Oh, I love that already. I will show you in a second. Look at this one palette we have now. Colors. And then wait for it. Wait for it. Here it is. Look at this. We have a gold threads in here. Wow. Look at that. Beautiful. Very like a dark gold, and we have in here how many? Three strands of them. I wonder where they go. Maybe something, maybe for outlining snowflakes, maybe some on her clothes. So let me check. 42. What kind of symbol is that? 42. Oh, 42 it's for the back stitch. Okay, 42. Now see, I'm looking here because I don't have a back stitch in here, and I will look my pattern. Okay, hold on. In here, 42, it's a yellow. So all this yellow lines in here, I think it's outlining. Wow, there's a lot in here. So basically, it's a tons of backstitching in gold, outlining a lot. Hopefully that's enough of the threads, just the 3 threads of them. But backstitching, if it's in the gold, it doesn't really say in how many threads. Usually I stitch in 2 if this is regular. Well, for the 14 count Ada, you back stitching with the 1 thread. If specifically company not tell you, because sometimes backstitch could be, you know, in 1, in 2, in 3 threads, different thickness. So if they don't say nothing, usually it's a backstitching in 1 thread. If you have 11 count Ada, you stitch in 2 threads. But this is gold threads, like metallic, and they usually very, very thin. So I don't know if I still have to stitch in one or probably in more, maybe in two, I don't know. So I will have to figure out this later when I will work on it. I'm sure there's nowhere in here that would tell me this. So yeah, I will have to even maybe Google to see in metallic how the other lady stitched. I might will find somebody who stitched in this image already and see how they stitch in metallic. So that's interesting. We have a metallic threads in here. It's a very special. It's always special to have something sparkle in the cross stitch world. And then we have one more palette, and that's all our colors in here. So yes, it's gorgeous to see them all like this. And this is really interesting. They have a gold. I always love those little extra. They look so thin. I might will have to stitch in two, I think, maybe, because in one it will be almost like invisible in one, because it's so thin that I don't think you will see when it's go on your canvas. If any chance will be not enough of this threads to finish, I believe I have already something very similar color, maybe even the same thing, to add some of my own metallic threads to finish backstitch. There are so many questions about cross stitching, especially when people just now start to cross stitch for the first time. And thanks to my videos, lots of you just started your first cross stitch, and so happy. This makes me always very happy when I inspire you to start cross stitching, because it's so much fun, for real. All right, I'll just put this kind of on a side, fold a little bit. And by the way, if you are beginner and you stitching almost to the end of your canvas and you're wondering how to wash, I do have 2 or 3 tutorials that I wash my canvases, and you can check it out how I did and how beautiful that turned out. So I do have those videos. Just go on my channel and Google it. On my channel, Google it, how to wash canvas or printed canvas, and it will pop some videos for you to watch. Some of them looking scary when you put this canvas in the water and water turn black, and you're thinking, oh my god, now my white threads will turn to black. That's a scary moment when I washed first my canvas. That was kind of fun experiment or experience. All right, so now the next one, this is another very beautiful, see, I picked 2 ladies today. This is the girl and goose, it says, which is totally not goose. It's a swan or goose. No, I think it's a swan. It's a swan. It says goose. To me, it's a swan. And you see the gorgeous young lady, and the way she's holding a hand, her arm over her head, it's almost like create neck and a head of the swan to make her transform into the swan. That's how I see it. There's a beautiful tree up there, something blooming, flowers, I think. She has a beautiful outfit. I love those fluffy sleeves, this shirt that she wearing right now. That's remind me my dance costume when I used to dance. And beautiful skirt. Look at her fan of the peacock feathers, and this is definitely swan. Her skirt, gorgeous. So this is, again, I got inspired by the other cross stitchers to have this one. I just really love in here her dress, her skirt, like her clothes in here remind me something, I don't know, it feels like she looks like maybe I don't know, she said she's thinking about her boyfriend, or maybe something happened in her you know, life, and she's really sad. Her face in here, beautiful, beautiful face. I love all those ridges on her shirt. You can see there's, it's going to be probably difficult to stitch all those gray colors, but in the end it will be beautiful looking. There's a butterflies in here. Lovely, very lovely. Okay, so what do we have in here? This one is 41 centimeters by 77 centimeters, 14 count Ada. Now, do we have something special in here? I see so far only 51 colors in full stitch. And that's it. I think that's it. We have a pages and pages, 6 pages of this pattern. Very tiny symbols in here. Can poke your eyes out, but that's still symbols. Good thing don't have any other, like I showed you in here. You can see her face is stunning in a bigger picture. So 51 colors, that's a good amount of colors. Very nicely will be done. I see that it's going to be lots of browns, probably colors in here. Let's check them out. Okay. Okay, I have a question for all of you. Look at this palette. Look at this palette colors. So yes, tell me in the comments color shades that you absolutely don't like. I was gonna say the other word, but no, we will be polite. What's the color shade that you do not like to stitch with? And what is your favorite color that you love to stitch? Because I know somebody just like love to stitch with greens, and somebody says green is just like too much. So from me, let me start. I say, for me, is the boring thing to stitch. It's this kind of color, cream or white, because you stitch and it feels like you don't see enough, and no progress. It's like you cannot see much, and then you flip your canvas upside down. For example, when I stitch with colorful threads, when I look on this side, that I see how much I stitch already, because you can see everything in here. When you stitching with these colors, you flip upside down and you still kind of barely can see where you stitched already. So the cream kind of grayish, very light gray color, that would be my less favorite to stitch. What is my favorite to stitch? For that one, I think I did not figure out yet. Let me think a little bit about it. Oh, we have two separate palette in here. Usually they staple together. This one is not stapled enough. So okay, so we will start from one. Here's our first palette. I would say my favorite probably is to stitch with like a warm colors of oranges and reds. Like this colors would be nice, or reds. I don't mind to stitch blues or greens. Any other color is okay with me. I even like to stitch with black, because black is the first color you really losing my voice. Because black you can see very well where you're stitching, and maybe that's why I don't like really much like a black color as a color, but I like to stitch with it because I can see where I'm stitching. So that's maybe awkward for somebody, but I like it. Look at this one, all those browns shades. It looks good together, but it's like it will be maybe a little bit not like a happy to stitch with all those colors, but depends also on the image, I think. Yeah, and we always do have 2 needles. Whatever you do first, always check if you have any needles in your bag, because one time I was decided to open my video sitting on the sofa and using my coffee table, and needles wasn't in a bag but was like pinned into the canvas. It was supposed to be 2 of them and I saw 1, so my daughter later found 2nd needle on the sofa. That was a huge mistake, and I don't want you to repeat my mistake. So always check if you have 2 needles. And how I lose, because I put my canvas on the sofa while I was looking at threads, and the needle fell out. So be very careful, especially if you have a little kids or pets, because it's dangerous. So don't repeat my mistake, please. I warn you. So now this is a very long panel. Oh, nice. Look at that. It's a long panel. So here is her gorgeous fan with those peacock feathers in here. Here we can see the silhouette of the swan. I don't know why they call it goose. It's not a goose. I know the goose don't have that fancy wings like that. And here's her face. She's really sad, but so kind face and gorgeous face. So there's not much in here, see, but what you can see in here, we have big blotches, like blocks of colors in here. So this is definitely easy canvas to stitch for beginners. Yes. Even it looks maybe busy on this area, but they are connected very well together. Look at those colors. They are all connected together. So you start in one and you can stitch till your thread go up and rethread another color if you want to do that way. Usually, very often I like to stitch. For example, I have, well, let's just say 1 thread. It's a 6 threads in here, so we will stitch 2 threads we need. So it's a 1 2 threads, 2 threads, and 3 2 threads. So you stitch in this one 3 times. So after I finish this 1 thread that I already started, because I pull out from the bunch, after I finish this one, then I still have the same color around, but I already want to stitch with different color, because you know I can always go return to this one. But in the same, if you want to kind of like go by the patch square to finish, but I always finish my thread to the end. I don't leave parking, unless sometimes I do parking if I stitch in a hoop and I went to the edge of the hoop, but I still have a few stitches up there. Then I pull out my needle and leave this thread hanging up there so I can stitch more. And then when I reposition my hoop, my thread already there, so I can continue those few stitches without cutting and making a more secure, you know, work to do. Okay, so that's how I work. I can't believe it took me so long to do this two canvases. I really turned this video review into some kind of like a 50-50 tutorial. So I hope you will appreciate if you are beginner, and as I always say, don't afraid to start something new. You will enjoy. It's always good to explore new craft, because it's something beautiful that we create, and it's so rewarding to have an end beautiful piece of art that you created by yourself. So I would love to thank company for sending me this product. Thank you very much. Painsomeway, please visit them. I will link it up, these 2 canvases, under my video in the description box, so you can go and look what else they have, and maybe something you will find that interesting to you. If I inspire you to purchase these two canvases, you definitely will not regret, because it looks absolutely perfect. Nothing is wrong with the canvases. Gorgeous palette of colors in here. And yeah, this one easy for beginners. This is more advanced because they have a different kind of stitches. That's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow as I record every single day. Thank you. Take care and stay safe.